ladies, welcome. What brings y'all in today?
Well, I guess I'll go. Well, about 6 months ago, my little brother, Tibby, drowned in our pool.
Are you seriously crying right now? Can you see this? Like, this is so annoying. Like, we're not even crying anymore. I feel like she's just being so dramatic.
Yeah, I'm not crying because it wasn't my fault.
So you're not mourning your dead son?
Moms, please.
Yeah,
So
same.
I'm sensing that there is a feeling of blame. I'm hearing that there was a loss in your family. I'm so sorry to hear that it was your son and you feel that it wasn't your fault. And I'm kind of sensing this anger towards your daughter.
So she was in her office studying, Karen was, because she just got back into grad school and we were supposed to go back together, but somehow I ended up on the short end of the stick and I had to stay home all day taking care of our kids, and like it's just not what I signed up for. Like I thought we were like in this everything together. And so while she was in her office, I literally took 5 seconds to go to the bathroom, and whenever I came outside, the door was open, and I swear the door was closed whenever I left, but I guess the wind blew it open.
So has this been dynamic since your son's death? More so you two arguing, you being angry at her? Okay, so in order for this to be a healthy environment so that everyone can begin the healing process and so that you all can move forward as a family, we need to have this as a safe zone and as a zone for respect. So when any person is talking, everyone needs to listen, because the only way you'll be able to get over the situation is to heal and look at your son's death as something good instead of something to blame each other, is if you listen.
She's trying to nicely tell you to shut up and
I don't
listen.
think so. I think she's saying that to you.
I'm pretty sure she's saying it to you. See, I was talking and I just got interrupted.
Okay, so maybe let's redirect the conversation. So I've heard through you, I've heard that, before y'all got married, that there was this agreement that both of you would have a 50-50 share with taking care of the kids, and you both will go back to grad school. And then somehow you were the one that weren't able to go to grad school. So I'm hearing a sense of resentment, and two, that kind of played a part in your son basically not being watched in one moment.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Okay, and what's your take on this?
Well, we had decided that we would both go back, but Lisa's GPA wasn't good enough to get in, and I got accepted first, so I thought that I should follow my passion and do what I was born to do, and that all she had to do was watch our son. It's like I don't even know her anymore. I can't even look at her.
Okay,
I don't want to look at you.
so I'm hearing that. So again, respectful space.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize to me. It's more so apologizing to your family members. So I'm hearing that you all are in agreement that you were supposed to both go to grad school, and then when she didn't get in, you felt like it was okay for you to go to grad school, and it was going to be her responsibility to take care of your son.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Is that what both of you feel?
We literally didn't even
It's
have
okay.
a conversation.
It's okay.
Look what you did. You're making her cry.
I miss Timmy.
I do too.
I miss him too. At least I was there for him in his last moments. Where were you? Locked in her office.
I've gotten that you both feel some type of way about you having an agreement that you were going to go to grad school together. That was the agreement that y'all made, and then when it fell through on her end, it was kind of put on her shoulders to take care of your son. So is that an argument that you've had prior to his death, or did this only become a boiling point after his death? Let me ask you first.
I mean, I feel like we didn't even have the conversation of what we were gonna do. She just like decided that, oh, I'm just gonna go to grad school. Like, I'm gonna do this without you. I literally don't care what you have to think about it. And so, like, it feels like it happened really fast. Like, I feel like she got accepted and she started, and then like it was like what, a week, 2 weeks later, Timmy died, and so like I feel like we never got to have that conversation. And then he died, and we just like don't really talk anymore.
So how do you feel about that statement? Do you feel like it's accurate?
I guess I would agree with my wife, but I just feel like this marriage hasn't been what we thought it was gonna be.
Okay, so let's draw back. So I'm hearing that everything in your marriage kind of happened really fast. Basically, the whole grad school situation happened, and then boom, you're kind of stuck taking care of the kids by yourself. And then when something happens to one of the kids, and then now it's like this constant arguing, and you feel like the marriage isn't going well.
Like when we met in undergrad, it was so great. Like we just had all this freedom, and we did all these fun things. And then we graduated, and we were like, we're gonna take a couple years off, and we're gonna work, and we're gonna try to like build our lives. And then we acquired Tina, which was like the best thing that ever happened to us. But like not too long after that, we adopted Timmy. Couldn't even say his name without crying. So we adopted Timmy, and then like a year later, like everything happened. Like she got accepted, and like we had this. I guess it was supposed to be a good thing, but it felt like awful. It was just another thing that she was trying to like branch away from me from, you know.
So how does it make you feel to listen to your parents argue?
It's all I ever hear from them anymore. Ever since Timmy died.
I know you're 12, but I need a more concrete answer. Because essentially, it seems like you're not being heard in your home because they're arguing. So this is a safe space for you to be able to be heard. So they need to know more than it makes you. How does it make you feel when they argue?
Well, it just makes me feel terrible and very anxious, and like I hardly eat or sleep anymore ever since Timmy died and they started arguing, because it's every day.
Okay. So I'm hearing that this death and your parents have played a major part in your life, and they've had a really traumatic effect on you. Your eating habits aren't the same, your sleeping habits aren't the same. And it's kind of giving you anxiety. Have you reached out to any medical professionals in regards to her anxiety? Did any of you even know that she was experiencing anxiety?
I have no idea.
I guess we've been too busy arguing.
So how does it make you feel to hear that your daughter is now anxious, not only because she's had this loss of her sibling, but now it's essentially like she's lost her relationship with her parents because she can't have a conversation with them. She can't have, let's see, what type of stuff did you all do before your son's death?
We used to have a lot of fun, I guess. Like, we would do a lot of things as a family. Remember that time we went to the beach? You want to reminisce on that for me?
Yeah, things were good before everything got heavy after Timmy's death. We didn't argue as much, but lately it's just been, I don't know what to do anymore about it.
Okay, so I don't mean to throw this word in, but I know when I spoke with you, you had mentioned divorce.
I mean, she's already wearing a ring on the wrong finger, so I guess
it
it's
was
good.
an accident. I just didn't even notice.
I mean,
So how does it make you feel? Did you all have a conversation about the divorce prior to?
not as a family. We weren't gonna tell our daughter.
I have thought about it.
So how does it make you feel to hear your parents bring up divorce?
Well, I mean, this is the first time I've heard them use this. I just thought they could work it out.
Okay. So how does it make you feel?
Well, I've already lost my brother, and now my parents are gonna lose their marriage. I don't know what to do.
But you would never lose us. We'll always be together for you, even though we're not like together.
So essentially, have you all came to an agreement that the marriage is over? Do either of you feel like there's any self within the marriage also? Or do you feel like if we constantly meet and if we first talk about grieving your son, because I do want to get you all into some support groups for families for grieving children, and then two, I want to refer your daughter to somewhere that can help her talk more about her experience in more of a setting with people that are familiar with her type of situation. So do you feel like those type of things will work and maybe can salvage your relationship, or do you feel like there's no saving your marriage because of all that occurred?
I think it could work, maybe, if we actually put in the effort.
I guess we could try. We haven't really tried anything.
So let's talk about your goal before we meet next time.
I guess just to have my daughter feel heard and maybe put in a little bit more effort in my marriage.
Okay. And what about you?
Kind of the same. I want to see my daughter happy. That's the most important thing to me right now. And then, of course, working on my marriage with Karen.
Okay. And what about you?
I just want to get a peaceful night of sleep before therapy.
Okay. So basically, let's just say where we started and look at now where we've ended. We started with a family that couldn't even talk to each other. You know, you're still grieving the loss of your child. And I think it's best that you all maybe talk to each other about looking at it as a legacy rather than a loss. Look at it, you know, what can come from it rather than being angry with each other. Regardless of the events that led up to it, at the end of the day, you all should be each other's support system. And correct me if I'm wrong, you all haven't been feeling support. None of you in this familiar situation have been feeling support. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So let's see if maybe between now and the next session, we can work on hearing each other. And maybe when you all do feel angry or you're feeling like you're not being heard, you can set aside time in the day and you can write it down. I mean, you don't have so much frustration built up and you're seeing each other. Because I know here you're going to be okay because we're facilitating a safe environment. So maybe you should designate a room in your house where it's a safe space. No one will talk over each other because it sounds like y'all aren't being heard. You're essentially saying the same thing. And it's kind of like you all don't discuss things before they happen. One of you just makes an assumption and then the other one has a negative feeling on that assumption. So let's work towards dialogue and talking, because I think that could be a positive thing. And like I said, I want to get you in a support group for children that have lost their siblings, because that's a lot to deal with, especially as a 12-year-old. You're strong because you came here today and you talked and your parents didn't at that time have the courage to speak. So it says a lot that as a 12-year-old you're able to take on that role. But the reality is you shouldn't have to, because you have two loving, caring parents. Also, my suggestion is to keep a journal and to also make decisions together, because I kind of feel like this situation stemmed from decisions being made without one another. So even if it's something as simple as what we're going to eat. So, is everyone okay with open dialogue and keeping a journal? Mm-hmm. All right, ladies. So how do you feel now?
I feel like we can take all this information home and digest it and work as a family and get better.
So how do you feel?
I agree with my wife.
All right, we're already doing better. We have agreement. So how do you feel now?
I feel stronger.
And you should, because regardless of if your parents decide that they want to separate or whatever their case may be, you've heard from their mouths that they want to support you and that they love you, and that regardless of what you all are going through as a family right now, they want to hear you. And I want to hear you. I'm a support system for all of y'all. I'll give you my card so that way if at any time you feel like you can't talk to each other, you can always talk to me. So is everybody comfortable with the plan that we've put in place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, ladies, I will see y'all next
Thank
Thank
you.
you.